of putting my carrots in a cornstarch gel. So what are you doing today, Maureen, on this beautiful day? More things are out in the bigger greenhouse. I figured the bok choy, the su choy, and the Swiss chard, they would do much better. I just potted those up and they are looking fabulous. The broccoli that I planted 2 days ago, yes, being outside has made a huge difference for these guys. Yeah, so what I want to do today though is I want to plant some carrots up and also to start germinating my green beans. I don't know about you, but as soon as that sun comes out, I get into a panic and it's like, I gotta get everything out, I gotta get everything out. I am just, you know, a couple of weeks behind on some things according to my Clyde's garden planner. I absolutely love this, especially as a new grower. So what you do is you just line up your last frost date, and of course it's approximate. It tells you when you can do your first plantings of your vegetables, if you can sow it indoors, and also just to harvest. So this is a really great planner, and it does the spring and the fall. And one of my Kidults, they won this last year for me, and I have purchased some of my own so that I can give them away as gifts and whatnot. I did this technique last year of putting my carrots in a cornstarch gel. What this gel has in it is a cup of water and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You stir it up and then let it cool and then put it in a Ziploc bag. And we're gonna cut the end of this like it's a pastry bag. But first we're gonna put the carrots in. I'm doing flyaway carrots. I've never grown these before. And this one, apparently it says that it's good for getting away pests. So I think that's a good thing. So I'm gonna put the whole packet into here. I wanna get every little carrot seed. And then we're gonna zip it up. And then we're just gonna massage it in and through. One of the reasons for this carrot gel is that it's going to help the carrots to stay in place and also to keep the moisture, because carrots do take a long time to germinate. I did it last year, but our weather was so cold, so I lost most of my germination, but I'm definitely gonna try this again. I had 2 other packets that just had a few seeds in them, so I thought I'm gonna put them in here as well. They're not all the same variety, so I'm hoping that's gonna be okay. The great thing about the gel is it's going to keep the seeds separated, so I'm not gonna have to come through and do a really heavy thinning with them. So that's one of the reasons why this is a really great way to get your carrots into ground. I'm also gonna germinate 3 types of pole beans and 3 types of bush beans. And when you germinate them ahead of time, you're actually gonna be able to see which ones are viable seeds. So you're not just putting it in the ground and then just hoping that they germinate and come up. This way, I will be putting the actual germinated seed into the ground. Beans are also really great to have in your garden because they're nitrogen fixers. So I like to actually have some of my bush beans in each of my garden beds so that it's actually putting in good nitrogen. So that's a smart thing to do. I don't have running water in here, so I just have my watering buckets. So I'm just gonna pour some water onto my paper towels. Good thing that it's absorbent. And I'm gonna put them in groups of 2s. So I have Hilda Romano pole beans. I love these great big beans. The flavor is wonderful. So we're gonna put 8 out. And then on the other one, I'm gonna put Scarlet Renner beans. These I think I'm just gonna do 4 of. 1, 2. Look at how big those beans are. They're magic beans. And then we simply fold them up, keeping them somewhat separated. And then place them into a Ziploc bag. And then I'll keep them in a warm, dark place. The next 2 are gonna be beans that came from my garden. So I've got Romano pole beans from my garden, just green bush beans. Last are more Italian bush beans, the thicker beans. And then I'm gonna try this one, which is, it's a rondio, and it says that it's a late maturing. So I thought that might be another nice thing to have beans into the fall. And then I just write on the bag. Unveiling of the carrots. that I planted last year, where we'll be adding the new ones. Let's see how good it looks. Ooh, hello, lovely carrots. Oh, sorry. Just not too over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carrots. Yay! So I'm gonna weed through this first before we start planting. It took a lot longer than I expected. I wanted to reset the paving stones, and then just this board here was kind of pushed out, so I wanted to kind of reset that, and so I was just taking a little break and enjoying my view here from this corner of my garden. It's just wonderful. And the extra bonus is this Daphne, which is just so full of fragrance, so it makes working here in the garden just so wonderful. I'm gonna just put in some granulated slow release fertilizer. This I do have to work in because it's all natural, it ends up growing. I didn't confess that I also got distracted because my fig tree that is right here, it had some sprouts that I wanted to cut off, and so I just pulled them and it was like, oh, it has roots. So that led me back into the greenhouse studio to go and see if I could propagate it. No harm in having more fig trees. So it seems that I have, you know, kind of 3 rows, but looks like I can put a fourth row right in here. But one of the things that's kind of good to do, and also I think that this fig tree is putting some of its roots over here, probably because it gets fed, but it's really good to just kind of give a slice down into your soil just to break it up for the carrots, so as they grow. So I'm just going to kind of follow along with the lines that I have here. Starting at this end, I'm just going to give it a bit more massaging. We're going to cut off the little end and then use it as a pastry bag and just let it seep out. Oh, I think I cut it too big. Yeah. Try the other end. So we'll just put a knot in this end here. And just cut a small, very tiny hole. And then we're just gonna squeeze it out. I've left mine too long, so it's getting too jelly. Another glob here. Come on. Oops. I probably should have added some more water. It's thick, I'm just going to kind of try to use my trowel to try to drag it around. I don't know if it'll work. Just to kind of spread it out a little bit more. Because the whole reason for this is so that I don't have to do as much weeding. I think I maybe didn't have quite enough water in with my cornstarch gel. I think I'm going to leave those because it's just clumping. And then we're just going to cover it up. So the carrots are in. I just tossed some of my compost that I had piled there on top. Hopefully it's not too thick in some places. But the whole purpose of the gel was to keep it in place and to spread out the seeds. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. God bless.